Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dive deep into corporate filings and try to predict if the company is headed for the stratosphere or the compost bin. Today, we are dissecting CIM Incorporated's latest form 8K, and let me tell you, it involves a significant change that could really shake things up for their investors. So, what exactly is this filing all about? Well, the main news here is that CIMG Incorporated, this Nevada company, has officially increased the number of shares they are allowed to issue. Think of it like a company being allowed to print more money, but instead of cash, it is stock. They went from being able to issue 200 million shares to a whopping 600 million shares. This is a pretty big deal, and it happened on the 28th of October, 2025. This date is crucial because it marks when this change officially took effect, stemming from a shareholder meeting earlier that day. This type of filing, a Form 8K, is like a company's urgent announcement system. It is used to let the public know about significant events that happen between the more regular financial reports, and increasing authorized shares is definitely a significant event. Now, a quick word on par value. This $0.00001 is a nominal, almost symbolic value assigned to each share. It is mostly an accounting thing and doesn't reflect the actual market price of the stock. What matters are the total number of shares and their value in the market. The company is incorporated in Nevada, which is a common state for companies to choose for their legal structure, often for tax or corporate law reasons. The big decision to increase the authorized shares was actually voted on and approved by the company's shareholders at their annual meeting held on the 28th of October 2025. This is important because it shows that the move has at least some backing from the owners of the company. This section tells us precisely what happened at that shareholder meeting. The company submitted 6 proposals, and guess what? All 6 were approved by the shareholders. This suggests a smooth sailing for management's agenda at this particular meeting. Now, let's look at the voting numbers. As of the 30th of September 2025, there were about 196.5 million shares that could be voted. And out of those, over 156 million shares were represented at the meeting. That is about 79.74% of the voting power, which is a pretty good turnout and gives the results significant weight. First up, they elected 5 people to the board of directors. Zhenshuang Wang, Zhongmei Huang, Yanli Hong, Zhongjung Ye, and Jinmei Guo Hellstrom all got the green light. The voting numbers for these director nominees were all very strong, with none of them having a significant number of votes against them. This indicates shareholder confidence in the current leadership team. For example, Zhenshuang Wang received over 156 million votes. 4. Next, shareholders also approved the pay for the company's top executives in a non-binding vote. Again, the votes for were overwhelmingly high, with 156,563,097 in favour. This say-on-pay vote, while not binding, shows shareholder satisfaction with executive compensation for now. They also approved an equity incentive plan for 2026. This is a plan that allows the company to grant stock options or other equity awards to employees, encouraging them to work towards increasing shareholder value. With 156,513,223 votes for shareholders are clearly on board with incentivizing the team. And here it is, the main event we touched on earlier. This is the proposal that officially allows the company to increase its authorized shares from 200 million to 600 million. Out of the votes that counted, 156,380,013 voted for this increase. This is a crucial step for the company's future financial strategies. Shareholders also ratified the choice of Accession Number as their independent auditor for the fiscal year that ended the 30th of September 2025. This is a standard procedural item where shareholders approve who is checking the company's financial books. The vote here was also overwhelmingly in favor, with 156,599,235. Finally, the shareholders also approved any other new business that might properly come up during the meeting, including the ability to adjourn if needed to get more votes. This is a catch, all to ensure the meeting can run smoothly. Beyond the shareholder meeting, there is another piece of news. On the 31st of October 2025, CIMG Incorporated announced that its subsidiary has been authorized to distribute products for Inspur Electronic Information Industry Company Limited. This is essentially a new business opportunity or partnership that could lead to revenue growth. Inspur is a pretty big player in information technology, so this could be a significant development for CIMG's subsidiary. This press release about the distribution partnership is attached as Exhibit 99.1. It signifies a move to expand the company's reach and product offerings through a collaboration with a larger entity. And finally, the report is signed by Zhenshuang Wang, the Chief Executive Officer, on the 31st of October 2025. This confirms the legitimacy of the filing and the company's commitment to these announcements. Now, let's put on our investor hats and decode what this all means. Firstly, The increase in authorized shares from 200 million to 600 million. Why would a company do this? Typically, companies increase authorized shares to give themselves flexibility for future actions. This could include raising more capital by selling new shares, acquiring another company by using stock as payment, or even for stock splits. The fact that they got shareholder approval is a good sign, indicating that the owners are comfortable with this expanded capacity. However, we must be cautious. While it provides flexibility, it also means the company could dilute existing shareholders' ownership if they issue a lot of new shares without a corresponding increase in value. So, for investors, the key question becomes how they plan to use these newly available shares. Is it for growth initiatives like the distribution deal with Inspur or for other purposes? The approval of the equity incentive plan is also a positive sign. It shows management's intent to align employee interests with shareholder interests, which is a fundamental principle of good corporate governance. The partnership with Inspur Electronic Information Industry Company Limited is also an interesting development. If CMG's subsidiary can effectively distribute Inspur's products, this could open up new revenue streams and potentially boost the company's overall financial performance. We'll need to watch how this partnership evolves and what kind of sales numbers it generates in future filings. Looking at the overall picture, CIMG Incorporated seems to be actively positioning itself for future growth. The increased authorized shares provide the ammunition, and the new distribution partnership offers a potential avenue for expansion. However, as with any company, there are risks. Dilution is always a concern when authorized shares are increased. Also, the success of the Inspur partnership hinges on the execution of CIMG's subsidiary and the market demand for Inspur's products. We need to see actual financial results from these ventures to truly assess their impact. To sum it up, CIMG Inc. has taken a significant step by dramatically increasing its authorized share capital and secured shareholder approval for it. They've also lined up a new distribution agreement that could be a growth catalyst. The coming quarters will be critical to watch how they leverage these developments. Will they use the increased shares wisely for strategic growth, or will it lead to shareholder dilution? And how much traction will they gain with Inspur? These are the questions investors will be asking. Alright, that is our breakdown of CIMG Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think this is a smart move for growth or a potential red flag for dilution? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for even more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Corporate Decoder.